Well, just had a very nice, enjoyable hour watching Wesky and Ms. Marilyn talking about pens and ink and calligraphy. And I thought, well, I'll chat with people here. There's Ms. Marilyn. It's fun watching you and Wesky. I think I might want to see if Wesky would like to have me at his channel sometime. When he, oh, hi, Cesar. Wesky visited me when we were trying to get my childhood home ready to sell, and he seemed to enjoy staying there and driving around the city. Actually, I drove. I forget now what kind of car it was, but I kept on not working it correctly. I thought it was a automatic, but it was a standard. So I kept forgetting to shift or something. But I know that he did not want to drive in the big city. And so I did the driving. Yes, my birthday will be tomorrow. I'll be 69. And hopefully I'll make it through the day and through the coming year. One of the things I wanted to mention to people that are watching me is that on Wednesday night, I will be interviewing or having as my guest a artist who's an animator living in LA, and he's worked on The Simpsons, has been given some awards or two for the work he does in animation. And he bought a pen from me, 2 pens from me. I knew him when I was in grad school. We were in the same class, art history class, and that's how we got acquainted. Uh, 69, it could. I have to remember the last time that ever happened. But no. Hey, Wesky. Wesky, sometimes I'd like to be a guest on your show if you want me to join you sometime, or you join me sometime. I think it might be fun to go on your channel rather than the other way around. But if sometime you want to talk about things that you think you and I could connect with, one of the one pen that I really liked of the pens you brought me to show me, your pens, was that Aurora 88. I thought that was really a sweet pen. And you had 2 of them, I remember, and I almost wanted to ask if I could buy one, but I didn't. I have looked at them online. I really loved, it was the weight of that pen. It looked kind of like it was going to be, it looks like a fat 51 kind of, or a fat Waterman Taperite. And I really liked the weight of the pen, the Aurora 88. When I travel to Minnesota, I only bring about a dozen pens with me, and I find that I don't do much pen stuff while I'm here. Last night at the bar on the lake, there was a bachelor party, so there were a lot of drunk men, and I wrote the name of the soon-to-be groom and his soon-to-be bride in calligraphy, and using a not a very expressive pen. It was a Skyline with a semi-flexible nib, so I wasn't able to do as much ooh la la-ing as I normally do. But anyway, he gave me a tip of $10, and then all the other guys in the restaurant at the bar were coming up with their requests for their me to calligraph their names and their wife's name. So I got about $40, which I spent on beer. So I told the bartender, I said, I'd be rich if I wasn't an alcoholic. So. Yes, thank you, Wesky. Do send me a letter or text sometime. One of the various ways we text, and it would be fun to connect up. Shall I show you where I am here? I'll give you a little tour of the house. Let me switch the camera here. Back camera. So here's the here's the living room, and here's the lake. A pen collector visited me here last summer, and she brought, this was the gift she gave us, these really deep wind chimes. Yeah, very close to the lake. So our neighbors' houses are pretty close up here. Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely spot. There's all these dead animal heads, and people would say, "Was your father a hunter?" No, just a gatherer. He just gathered. He took after me settings. Let me go back to the front camera. So anyway, I found my contraption to set up the iPad to hold it horizontal to the table, and I'll bring pens to write with, and my guest, I told him how to create a way for him to easily set up a camera, an iPad, to look down at the table. So, and Cesar, you're planning to visit Boston in October, I think you said. I'm looking forward to that. I don't like fishing. I don't have that bug, but my brothers love it, and my nephew loves it. And they just caught a fish today, and they use these. I was out fishing with them. I was sitting in the pontoon boat, and they're fishing, and I said, "Oh my God, you caught one." And Todd said, "No, Pierre, that's the lure. We used to fish with a little worm on the end of a hook, but the lures that they use now, and they're very expensive, like $150 for these damn things." Where is it? They're big. So I can write outside, I suppose. I sometimes will do drawings if I'm on a sailboat. I like drawing from the cockpit of a sailboat looking toward the bow, and I will probably, when my brothers get the boat up and running in the next couple of days, I'll probably go out. The fish that they're catching they can catch the way the lake rules work here. They can catch as many fish that are under 24 inches long, but they can only keep one fish that's over 24 inches long. Yeah, I love fishing lures, and I like fishing poles. I like everything about it, fishing, except actually sitting in a boat, bobbing up and down, waiting for a fish to bite. Um, I used to joke with my brothers before they got those big lures. Um, I'd say, you don't catch any fish. I mean, they never catch enough to actually eat. Um, and I would say Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes and 1,000 fish. But sometimes they just catch huge fish just at the end of the dock, which I think it must be something to do with global warming or something, because years ago the fish like that didn't exist here. Robin Allen. So there's some new people here. Maybe Wasky, your fans decided to come to me today, which is nice. Um, Trying to think of something to say. It's been a very uh, quiet time up here. My little brother and my other brother, who's younger than I, but not the youngest, they were working on trying to repair some erosion steps. Can I show you a waterman? Um, I've done some art on the iPad. Uh, I'll let me just go into my room here. I make fish out of cardboard. I'll show you what they look like. You see the blue fish back there? Whatever the cardboard is printed on, I will use the graphics on the cardboard to make the fish. The watercolors. Here are the pens I brought. Um, Here's some art that I made a long time ago. I made this fishing pole. This is made of paper. These fish are made of paper and drawn with ink. That big fish is made of paper. Back when I used to do that kind of stuff. Okay. Let's see here. Here's a Waterman I brought with me. Waterman 452, number 2 nib, semi-flexible. I brought this Waterman, which is a Waterman Commando slip cap with a stub nib, in case I have to do. Oh, thank you, Cesar. And I brought this Waterman, which is a Taperite. And then this Waterman 55, black hard rubber, missing a clip. Actually, I never had a clip. And then some Wall Eversharps and a couple of Schaefers and a Conklin Crescent. And one Franklin. Yeah, those palm trees that you have in California are just wacky. They're so much fun. I have to figure out, next time I visit, I'll try to figure out how to draw them better. I did bring watercolors with me. I thought I would try to learn how to do watercoloring a little bit. I'll take baby steps. I'll use just 2 colors, yellow and purple maybe, or orange and blue, complementary colors, and just see if I can handle that. Yeah, they might be. I don't know anything about pruning them. Cesar can probably tell you. I watched them being pruned. They're just crazy things. They're so prehistoric looking to me. Namby, have I had you on my channel before? No, we don't. We don't. We live in cold places. So, Wesky, if you and I were to be on your channel, what do you think we would talk about? Other than the world famous, I haven't seen your pens and uses in a while, so I don't know if you still do the world famous Pierre Gustafson test. Yeah, the guy that was pruning them near Cedar's house was in one of those cherry picker things. Vintage versus modern pens. Well, that's a good argument. I mean, a good conversation to have. I wouldn't be able to say very much about modern pens because I don't collect them at all. I'm a purist in the sense of the vintage pens having, I think, someone could say I'm wrong, but I think the vintage pen nibs are far more varied than what you find today. Well, I can say that as an actual fact. They're way more varied than pens you can find today. Now you can, of course, have people tweak the nibs, grind them, which to create a different kind of nib, and you can have people like Ralph Reyes make these amazing multi-tined nibs you could paint a house with. Yeah, I can certainly talk a little bit about calligraphy with you. But again, it's something that you don't do much with. So you're, in this case, you'd be sort of just listening, but that can be done. Turnover do I have in collections? My collection just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I might decide to try to figure out, why do I have 30 51s in black? Do I need more than 3? Why do I have 30? So I need to start going through these and getting rid of them because they're pens that I don't really use so much anymore. And I've enjoyed collecting them, but I don't need 30 of them. A collector doesn't need 30 of any one kind of pen. So I could get rid of 20 of them, I think, without having a mental breakdown. But the problem is, almost all the pens that are in my collection have really, really neat nibs. And if 51 nibs, you think, well, they're not anything special, they're just 51s. Well, they are somewhat special, but the pens that I have in my collection, many of them have engravings on them, and I love engraved pens. Beautiful, either engraved on the cap or sometimes on the barrel, hand engraved. I just find all of that really, really fun. So I have a lot of those. Yeah, it was fun doing those movie things, and I might be doing one now. I mean, there's something I can't tell you anything about, but I'm working on one a mini series or a series for TV that involves journals and letters that have to be read or shown. And once I think there's like 8 different writers on this thing. So once they get together and try to figure out what the plot is going to be, what the names of the people are going to be, then they'll want me to do the work. But one of the things they did, they had someone bind a book using very textured paper. And it's beautiful paper to look at, but it sucks to write on. It's very fibrous. The nib will tear it. It bleeds all over the place. So it's very difficult. They make it difficult for me. So Robin, what is there a focus on the pens you collect? Is there companies you like or things like that? And Waskey, I don't know, do you ever sell your pens? I, I know that at least the last time I spoke with you, you had never been to a pen show. I imagine you might have a duplicate of something that you might give to someone or you might sell to someone, but uh, I think Waskey becomes attached, as we all do, to these things. Okay. Um, there's, if you like old diaries, there's a really fun video um, presented by Irving Frankel, I think his name is, and he's a British, uh, he's an archaeologist, and he works for the British Museum, and he's come up with this uh, archive of old diaries where people send him and give him old diaries that otherwise would be thrown out. And he's really, really funny. And uh, Irving Frankel Diaries. Look at that. I think you'd enjoy that. It's about a half hour long. He also helped decipher cuneiform writing, so he's an expert on that for sure. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, it was really fun. Uh, so Michelle, you were on Waskey's thing. Have you ever watched my videos here? I rarely show my face. This is for those of you that have never seen my face. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. That you're looking at it now. Normally, I have the iPad hovering above the desk, looking down at my hands and the pens and the drawings and the lines and the pen repair or whatever it is that I'm showing. One of the things that Waskey and I enjoyed when he visited me and my brothers, I think Waskey's favorite part was sailing. He, I think he said he had never been sailing before. So my brothers and I took him out on my brother's boat, and for a night voyage, um, not all night. It was just an evening voyage, and it was just so much fun. And Waskey, my brother Todd, hasn't put his boat in this year to the yacht club to do the races because he just couldn't afford it. It costs like $6,000 to keep the boat at the dock, which I was shocked to hear. Um, oh, that's right. It was smoky that time. We do have a sailboat up here that's a little smaller than the one that you were on, and they haven't sailed it yet, but I'm sure they will. They might even go out sailing tonight. They're out shopping for food right now. Waterman and Schaefer pens. Yeah, they're really quite fun. So, Robin, where are you located in the world? And if I can ask your gender, if that's something I can ask on this, I've, I've never seen Robin spelled with two B's. Are you a male or a female, or something in between? Old German dip pens, wow. Are they gold nibbed or steel nibbed? Anyway, Wesky, was really fun because I also know that you like those bridges, those lift bridges. So when we went to St. Paul, you went walking around and taking lots of pictures of the bridge there, and I did a lot of drawings. It was really, even though we weren't together at the time, you were way over there and I was way over there, we were sort of enjoying the same thing. My father did the 2B thing so people would know I was female. Well, I'm kind of confused, but that's okay. Hey, Kesh. Kesh met me, how many years ago was it, Kesh? Kesh is a very talented and successful singer and composer in Mumbai. And 9 years ago, tomorrow, 9 years ago, I was broadcasting on an app called Periscope. And for some reason, Kesh landed on me, and we've been friends ever since. Though he doesn't use pens, other than to sign the big movie contracts he'll be using. Okay. That's what you meant. The 2B thing, okay. So you are female. Okay, now I understand what you're talking about. Yes, I was playing the ukulele. I had just gotten the ukulele that year, and I was trying to learn how to play it. And Kesh, would you like to join me now? We could sing a song. Kesh is in Mumbai, so I don't know what time it is there. Probably. Yeah, I have two ukuleles here, so I certainly could drag them out and play. Too late to join, okay. Anyway, folks, you should look up Keshav and listen to his singing. He's a very, very good singer. And though I don't know any word that comes out of his mouth, I can still enjoy the song without having to know. Atomic Elf. A universal language, that's true. Yeah, I think so. Um, so I think my brothers are going to come back in a minute, and then it's going to get very noisy here, so I think I'll stop now. Check back with me on Wednesday night. Is is when I'm planning to have my guest be the guy that does animation for The Simpsons. And it's Boston and Minnesota are on the same latitude, so it's not that different. So great. Oh, thank you, Wesky. Yeah, I'll probably do something tomorrow live as well. On my birthday, I'll try to come up with something fun. Maybe I'll show you I've been creating what I call asteroids using jewelry that my father, among the many talents he had, he would make necklaces. And he'd go to New York and he'd buy beads and bones and antique beads and bones. And he would create these really, really fun collages, essentially, that women mainly would wear around their neck. And when he died, there were hundreds of these things that were not yet finished. He would usually work on 3 or 4 at a time and carry the beads around with him, and going from one table outside here, one table, and when the sun went behind a tree, he'd move to another table where he'd be sitting in the warm sun and make these necklaces. So anyway, when he died, all of the necklaces that were completed, we have in a couple of storage bins in my brother's house, and then the ones that were partially started, I kept. And I brought them here, and I started making what I called asteroids. I'll show you what they look like. Here they are. So they're hanging from little nails up here. And this is a softball that I've covered with some of his necklaces that he began with. And I just have fun making these things, and there's some over here. And there's some over here. And these were fun. These are brass balls, sears, and they're salt and pepper shakers. They have little holes in them. And the one that was salt had, I think, more holes than the one that was pepper. So that was the only thing that you could do to tell. So anyway, I've got some balls here that I haven't covered with some of his necklace pieces. I'll show you one of his actual necklaces. I think there should be one here. No, where did they go? My brothers every once in a while think the house is getting too crowded, so they take things that I do and they put them away. Hate when they do that. Ouch. God damn it. Of course I had to say God damn it. I just stubbed my toe on the bed frame. Well, I don't know where the necklace is. Darn it. Yeah, so the asteroids, they many of them look like they've been mined, and which is what we're going to be doing soon, I guess, with asteroids. Um, so a lot of them. Well, anyway, I'm going to do a video about them one 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 time. The wine, dine, and 69 tomorrow. Well, that would be fun. Are you offering to help out with that, Tess? Hey, Will. My birthday's tomorrow, but you can start the celebrating now. I'm drinking Ham's beer. I never thought I would ever do that, but for some reason my brother's buying Ham's beer now. He's normally buys much fancier beers. Kesh is the man. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Will's birthday a couple days ago. Oh, happy birthday, Will. Okay, be good, everyone.